Hey guys, Coyote here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new series that I've decided to do. It is called Cataclysm: Dark Days Ahead. This is a game. I don't remember who exactly designed it and programmed it first, but apparently it is currently under the management of the Darkling Wolf. It is an open source roguelike game set in a post-apocalyptic zombie future, which is pretty awesome. It's kind of like playing DayZ, but in a top-down ASCII-based UI rather than fancy graphics and stuff. So I really quite enjoy it. It is supposedly an infinitely sized world. I don't know how infinitely sized they actually mean. Supposedly it takes place in the New England region of the United States. But it's all randomly generated terrain and randomly generated buildings and all that sort of thing. So that's kind of what gives it the roguelike. And obviously you're not going to stumble across any real life towns in here simply because of the random generation. Now, I've played this game a little bit on two separate save games, and basically I did so just to kind of learn the game a little bit, trying to figure out some of the commands and what I need to do. I've also been consulting the wiki and the forums a lot, and I think I'm ready to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start a new game with a customized character. You get 6 points to start with, and you can add and subtract. I'm trying to remember the buttons here. You can add and subtract various types of good and bad traits to change that. So I think I'm going to want to go ahead and add some bad traits so I can get some extra points. I don't know how much of an effect these have in game yet, with the obvious one. With the exception of obvious things like obviously bad back reduces your carrying weight and stuff. But things like heavy sleeper, I've never had to worry about getting woken up by noises while I'm sleeping. So I don't know how much of an effect that'll have in game. But I guess we'll find out. So I am going to go with Heavy Sleeper. It is only worth 1 point. And let's see. I like taking Glass Jaw. It reduces your head's hit points by 15%, which really isn't that big of a deal. The first two games I played in, my head with Glass Jaw had around 70 hit points, which seems pretty good to me. Let's see here. I'm going to go with Trigger Happy. Trigger Happy, as you can see here, you'll on occasion go into full auto when you intend to fire a single shot, but it has no effects when firing handguns or semi-automatic firearms, and since that's all, I haven't even encountered firearms yet, so I'm not too worried about that. Some of these other ones, though, I'm not as sure about. Ugly, I haven't encountered NPCs yet, so I don't know how much an effect that will have, but I don't know, I've just never really enjoyed playing ugly characters, and it's only worth a point, so it doesn't seem like it would be worth it. Truth Teller, again, I haven't run into NPCs, so I don't know how much of an effect that'll have, but I'd prefer to be able to bluff if need be. Wool Allergy, I have run into wool clothing quite a bit, so I do want to avoid that. Weak Stomach, I haven't encountered food poisoning yet, but I'd rather not worry about it. Mood Swings affects morale. Morale can be easy to fix, but really low morale is a problem. Let's see, what else do I want to take? I don't know why I'm going over these individually. There's not really a lot of point to it. I think I'll take Poor Hearing. That's worth 2 points. And I think that's going to be all for bad traits. So Heavy Sleeper, Poor Hearing, Glass Jaw, and Trigger Happy. Now there are some really good secondary traits or positive traits, but I kind of want to minimize how many I take so I have more points available for stats and skills. So I do want to take Pain Resistant. Pain Resistant is awesome. Pain is a big factor in this game. The more pain you have, it reduces your stats, it reduces your ability to do stuff, it reduces your morale. It's huge. So being able to have a higher pain resistance is an awesome idea. Pack Mule is the same thing. Being able to carry a lot of stuff is very, very important in this game. So I definitely want to take that. That leaves me with 8 points left. I'm not going to take any more items as much as I'd like to. Let's take a look at professions here. Oh, wrong button again. Unemployed is the default. You can also be a lab tech. I don't know what sort of extra gear you get as a lab tech, but it says you keep your lab gear. Want to be mechanic. You start with a wrench, a tool belt, and some car-related reading material. That's not too bad. And chain smoker, you start with a bunch of cigarettes. I am a non-smoker in real life, and I think my character will be that as well. I think I will take wannabe mechanic. The tool belt will probably give me additional carrying capacity, which will be useful. Let's take a quick... Actually, let's go back to stats for a sec. I'm going to drop the strength down to the 8, which is the same as everything else. But I think I'm going to increase my dexterity by 1 and my perception by 1. Which means they're slightly above average. I'm going to take 5 points in skills. I found out the hard way that some skills are really important to take. So I do want to take dodge, I do want to take melee, I do want to take firearms. But I got 2 points left. Now what do I want to take with that 2 points? Being able to drive a car is not a bad idea, but I've yet to find one, so I'm not too worried about that. Barter speech I haven't had to worry about yet. First aid. Now tailoring. Tailoring is a good one. Being able to repair and fix your clothing is important. So I definitely want to take that. You can level it up by using a sewing kit on various items, but it levels up really slowly and you have a chance of destroying the item. So taking a point in that rate as a default I think would be a good idea. And survival is another good one. You use the survival skill for, among other things, for butchering animals that you kill. So being able to do that on a more consistent basis seems like a good idea. Now, I'm not sure what else. I mean, I've got 0 points left, and I could drop some points in something, or I can get rid of the profession I took, or even a trait to take more skills. Most of the skills you can level up through using them or by reading a skill book. This is why I'm not too worried, but I would love to be able to take mechanics and cooking. However, I don't think I will, simply because I kind of want to keep the other stuff as well, and I don't want to add any more bad traits. Oh, bad traits. Lightweight. No. Smelly. Maybe I'll take smelly. Oh, it's only 1 point. Smelly, as you can see here, animals can track you more easily. The only animals that I've encountered that do that so far have been dogs and wolves. So, and they're usually not too tough once you've got a decent weapon. I think I'll take smelly. And it'll give me 1 more skill point. And I'll use that skill point to take mechanics. Yes, mechanics. There we go. Now, description. You can choose whether your character is male or female. I will go with a male character, and I will name him Coyote. Ta-da! Character is done, and let us move on. I am finished. Alright, so we start off in our fallout shelter, or survival shelter, or whatever you want to call it. That's me up here in the corner. I'm the little @ symbol. These number signs, pound signs, are benches, I believe. You can press the E button to examine in a direction. In this case, I examined to my east, and it is a bench. These along the top here are what are they called again? They're lockers. There's nothing in the locker, but you can bash them apart, and that'll drop scrap metal and pipes. And pipes are pretty cool. You can use them as weapons, and you can actually craft them into a crowbar as well. Now, it's a good idea generally to close the curtains on the windows. That's a window, by the way. The little blue the little blue quotation marks is a window. I'm looking at it. Currently, it is a closed window. Now it is an open window. So now I'm going to close it, but then you close it again, and it closes the curtain. And by closing the curtain, it prevents people from seeing inside, which theoretically reduces the chance of being found. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close all of the curtains. Oops, I went and opened it by mistake. Close, close, there we go. These here are counters. You can bash the counters apart to get wood and nails. This is a computer. All it says is that you're in a fallout shelter, so I'm not too worried about that. This one here is broken. I don't know if you can fix it with the computer skill or not. I've never tried. Oops, I have to turn numlock on. For some reason I have to turn numlock on in order to move diagonally. It's kind of bizarre. Let's go downstairs into the basement. The basement is small and fairly dark, and there's usually supplies down here. Oh, I found something. That is a tin can of meat soup. I'm going to pick that up because I'm going to become hungry eventually. Let's see what else is down here. Oh, that little exclamation point is a first aid kit. Awesome. That is a t-shirt. I'm going to want to pick that up because your clothes will wear out eventually. And that is a sweater. For sure pick that up. To the north there's some gloves. Oh, what's that? A backpack. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and wear that. To wear an item, you go into your inventory, which is I. Then you select the item number. In this case it's K. And I can go ahead and capital W to wear it. And I wear it. And that gives me a lot more volume. Weight isn't as important as volume, which I kind of like. Most games don't keep track of both weight and volume, and I wish more games did because it makes more sense. Bulky items take up more volume, which reduces the amount of overall stuff you can carry. Personally, I love that touch. It is such a good idea. Oh, something else. Tin can of beans. I hope I find some water in here. Some shorts. No, I didn't find any water. I didn't find any containers. Nothing of the sort. That's really kind of disheartening. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop some stuff in here so that it's... Oops, I want to close that door. These little plus signs, by the way, are doors. If a door gets bashed, it turns into an ampersand, which means it's impassable. I'm going to drop my food right here. F and O. Drop those. And just to the north of it, I'm going to drop my first aid items and other drugs that I find. Let's see. Over here by this computer, I think I'll drop tools. So I'm going to drop the wrench. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll drop the wrench. I'm going to keep the pocket knife on me for now, though. I think up by this computer, I'm going to drop books. Kind of makes sense to me. So that'd be M and N. What do I have left on me? Pocket knife, matchbooks, and some clothing. Well, I wonder if I made the character female instead of male, because I'm wearing a tank top. Weird. Or maybe it's just random. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on the sweater. One thing to note, the weather, or rather the temperature system in this game is a little on the screwy side. It does have the temperature. In this case, it's 19 degrees Celsius. For those of you who live in a Fahrenheit-based world, 19 degrees Celsius is really quite nice out. Shorts, t-shirt, sandals, go down to the beach in a bathing suit and sunbathe. Beautiful weather. In fact, it's a little bit too hot for my preferences. In this game, for some reason, when it's that warm, you'll often become cold. Your character will get the cold debuff trait. I had one game previously, my first test game, where it was 20 degrees Celsius and I was wearing a winter jacket and I was cold. So I'm a little bit confused on how that works. These question marks up here are indicating a monster that I can hear, but I can't see it. Chances are it's probably a squirrel or a rabbit or something like that. I'm going to have to go out and get some of those at some point, but that'll come a little bit later. I do want to drop anything else. No, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to wear stuff. So I'm going to put on the sweater. Wear it. There we go. W. Put on a sweater. And I'm going to put on the wool gloves. And I'm going to leave the other two items. I'm going to actually drop them on the ground. I'll put them over here beside the tools. No, I'll put them right here. Drop HP. So right now I have a volume of 0 and a weight of 18. I'm going to go out and... Alright, next stop is to get my hands on some sticks so that I can go ahead and make some spears and hopefully hunt down some food. As it stands, I only had 2 cans of food and I have no water. So I need to take care of both of those situations as soon as possible. Now this red percentile mark indicates some sort of ripe fruit or vegetable I can pick. I'm going to go ahead and pick that. Extra food is good. Strawberries, yum. These Fs are mutant poppies. You can pick those, and if you have enough cook skill, you can make medication out of them. Obviously some sort of opium, since opium is made from poppies. These Rs, in this case, are squirrels and rabbits. If you have a good enough survival skill, you can butcher them for meat, but because they're really small, the chances of that happening tend to be fairly inconsequential. And this looks like water. Shallow water. Sweet. That is going to be nice. I should hopefully be able to fill up water skins and gallon jugs and stuff from that once I actually get those. And actually, I'm going to check on the map to see if there's any nearby like buildings or whatever. See, this here's a swamp. Apparently swamps are bad, and I have to avoid them. Supposedly you can encounter mutant giant mosquitoes in there, and that sounds like not fun, so I'm going to avoid that. I'm guessing this is some sort of bridge. Yeah, it's a bridge. Near the bridge we have a house, another house, a house, a bank, interesting. Another house, police station. Another house. I'm going to guess these are all houses. What's this gray one? A gas station. And over on this side of the road we've got a clothing store, a gun store, 2 more houses, and a manhole. Okay, now down here, this area here looks like it's going to be a lot bigger. There's probably going to be more zombies here. We've got a library. Looks like the green ones are all houses. I'm not even going to look at them. Wow, 2 libraries really close together. That's kind of weird. A pawn shop. What's this pink one? A pharmacy. Cool. A electronics store. A military surplus store. 3 libraries all on like within a block of each other. I wish that had been the case in real life here. A park. A garage, a restaurant, another pharmacy. Wow. So this is like Jackpot Central. There's probably going to be Zombie Central. What's this red one over here? That is a crater. I think I'll avoid the crater. Okay, so right now it looks like my best bet is to head north and maybe check out these houses here for supplies. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. Hopefully I'll find a stick that I can carve into a spear along the way. These little asterisks are rocks, and the pound symbols are different types of shrubs. This here, D, is a deer, as you can see there. And it's not appearing on my radar, which is odd. What's this? Now, Fs are the mutant poppies. What's this F with the blue background? It's another mutant poppy flower. Oh, so why is it a different color? Mutated poppy flower. And mutated poppy flower. Weird. I'm still not seeing any sticks. Alright, you know what? I'm going to go back to the shelter, because you can get sticks from the shelter by bashing the counters apart. To do that, I'm going to need to pick up my wrench. I'm going to have to go ahead and wield it. Wrench, D, and wield. So you know what? I'm actually going to smash apart these benches instead. So S is for smash, and then the direction, and I smashed it. So it left behind some 2x4s, some nails, and splintered wood. I'm going to go ahead and pick up three 2x4s, all three of them, and I'm going to go ahead and craft those into spears. So 1, 2, 3, and there we go. Now what I'm going to do is drop that wrench again. Drop wrench, and I'm going to wield the wooden spear. I can throw those and theoretically kill stuff with it. I don't think I took any points in throwing skill, so I'm not going to be very good at that. However, there's a monster in play. Am I in safe mode? Debug, tried to kill a monster 5. Oh, weird. What's this over here? Excuse me. There must have been something that the debugger had to fix. Blood splatter, blood splatter, blood splatter, chunk of fresh meat, interesting, and a mound of dirt. Alright, well, let's go get that fresh meat then. I don't know what killed it, how it got there, but I'm not going to argue too much. Now, can I dig this? I was caught in an explosion. That must have been a mine. Mound of dirt. Is there anything I can do with the mound of dirt? Oh, maybe that's what happened here with the debug. Maybe the whatever it was stepped on the minefield. Alright, so I'm going to ignore that then. I'm going to go away and leave it be. Oh wow, I took a lot of damage. Huh. Alright, I'm hurting pretty bad. I'm hurting real bad. I'm in pain 62, which is real bad. Weird that it didn't show up right away. Throw spear at the deer. Throw spear at the deer. Missed. My throwing skills are real bad right now because of the pain level that I'm in. So, you know, I think I'm just going to ignore that for now. Hopefully the first house I come into will have... Oh, wow, my leg is badly damaged too. I didn't notice that. Huh. Hopefully the first house I come across will have some medication I can take and some bandages. Now, let's see. This here's where you gotta start being careful too, because zombies can pop up, and right now, I absolutely cannot deal with a zombie. What is this here? There's rocks, a rock and other items, so I'm gonna go take a look at that and see what that's all about. Oh, it's just 2 rocks. Okay, never mind. I prefer to go in the door rather than the window. And there was a door over here. Wasn't there? It must have been an internal door that I saw. Here we go, door. Now, what do we got in here? I see a US Weekly. I might as well take that. I don't know what it does. Some wool gloves. I'll take those. A raincoat. I'm going to guess that'll be useful if it rains. Poncho. Excellent. Some heels. Another poncho. Is there any doors? Nope, something's over here. What's that? Oh, it's just a desk. Okay. That is a sink, refrigerator, a mop, and a dust mask. I'll take the dust mask. Some binoculars, cooking on a budget, which I guess is a cooking manual of some sort. Ooh, a gallon jug of ammonia. It's one of the things I was looking for. I'm going to go out here and I'm going to dump the ammonia on the floor. So to do that, I would go into my inventory and then select it, which is capital I, and then you use the unload command. And it'll ask me, pour the ammonia on the ground. Yes. Now I can put water in that. Now it's going to be dirty water, so it would have to be cleaned in the future. But at least now I've got a container. That's a refrigerator. There's apparently nothing in it. Another gallon jug of ammonia. Excellent. And another one. That's excellent also. I'm going to dump those too. So, where is it? Capital K. Unload. Yes. Inventory. F. Unload. Yes. That should give me 3 gallon jugs that are empty. Excellent. My goal will be to fill one of those up with water. That's the mop again. That's the chair. Then I can transfer water from one into the other after I clean it. Plastic bag of tea leaves. Sure, why not? And a frying pan. That'll be useful. Steak knife. A plastic bottle of salt water. I'm going to leave that for now. What's that? That's nothing. Is that another steak knife? Yeah. Yes, I'll do that. As you can see here, my volume is in the red, meaning if I want to pick anything else up, I'll have to drop something or wield it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wield one of the gallon jugs. Wield. And that'll help with the volume a bit. There we go. It actually helped a lot. What's this here? A lot of clothing. I'll take that. No, I won't take that. I'll take that. No, I'm definitely going to take the cargo pants, for sure. And the hoodie. Yes, I want to put on the hoodie. And that will increase my volume capabilities, as will the cargo shorts. Wear. There we go. So it gives me a volume of 108 now. I'm wearing the cargo shorts over jeans, which is kind of interesting. Excuse me. See, there we go. 19 degrees Celsius, but I'm cold. Now I'm going to look at my character sheet and see what's cold. My head is cold, my legs are cold, and I'm in pain. Now what am I wearing for clothing? I've got tank top, jeans, belt rig, backpack, sweater, gloves, hoodie, shorts. Don't have any other pants. I would guess that the skirt would probably keep me warm, but that would be kind of weird wearing pants, shorts, and a skirt. So I'm going to leave that for now. I'll probably come back for them eventually, because I could probably cut them up into rags to make stuff with. Okay, that's just a bed. I think I've cleared out this house. What was this? That was the spear, right? Yeah, I think I'll take that. And I'm going to... No, I'm not going to wield it. And what was this? No, that was the salt water. I'm just going to leave that. Now, oh, wait, there is one more room here. Aha! The bathroom. That is a sink, that is a bathtub, and that should be the toilet. So I'm going to fill up 2 of the gallon jugs. There we go. 2 gallon jugs of dirty water, and I will be able to clean that in the frying pan. And transfer it into the one clean jug. Or into the one jug for clean water, rather. Now, there's another house nearby. I'm going to go check that out. Again, I need medical supplies. Fortunately, I still haven't run into any zombies. Okay, there's no doors on this side. I'm getting hungry and thirsty, but I'll ignore that for now. Keeping an eye out for zombies. Still nothing, which is good. Monster spotted. Zombie. Where? Turn off safe mode. The zombie's to the northeast. Let's peek around the corner. That didn't help much. I don't see the zombie on the map, so I don't know where it is. But I think what I'll do is be on the safe side. I'm going to... Can I open the window from the outside? No, I can't. I'm going to smash the window. Wait, is that a window? No, it's not a window. There, that is a window. Smash it. Smashing it with a gallon jug doesn't seem to be doing much. Let's switch to the wooden spear wield. Yeah, smash. There we go. And then, if you crawl through a smashed window, you're going to hurt yourself. But what you can do is you can clear the glass out of that by going to, I think it's star. Yes, the construction menu. And then you can hear, as you can see, a clean broken window. I'm going to go ahead and do that in that direction, and that will clear the window. Okay, that's a sheet. Sheets can be picked up, and you can use them for crafting with, if I remember correctly. I will get that. No, actually I'll drop that. That's a heavy stick. I don't need that. You drop. Okay. Now what do we got there? That is an empty dresser. This is probably a bed. Yeah, it's a bed. What do we got in here? Sink. Some aspirin. Excellent. I'm going to take some of that now. Actually, I'm going to go capital E for the eat menu. Might as well eat the strawberries while I'm thinking about it. That got rid of my being hungry. Then go back in here, and I will take an aspirin, and I will take a second aspirin. You know, take 2 aspirin and call me in the morning. Alright. Now, it may take a bit of time to take effect. Do I only have the 1 gallon jug again? No, I don't want to drink. Let me just see here. Gallon jug of water too. Okay, no. And sometimes there's stuff in the bathtub. There isn't in this case. Let's move on. This looks like it could be a good room for stuff. Okay, it's a door. We have a butter knife. I'm not going to worry about that. A dust mask. I've already got one. Thread. Definitely want thread. I'm going to need that. Table. Okay, I don't have enough room for another gallon jug, I don't think. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dump that. So, inventory, gallon jug of bleach, and unload that. There we go. So now I have 2 gallon jugs of dirty water and 2 empties, so that I can convert it all into clean water. Rubber gloves. You never know what you might need rubber gloves. I'll go ahead and take those. It's a cupboard. Oh, that's an oven. Unfortunately, you can't use ovens to cook in this game, which is kind of on the weird side. That's a refrigerator. That's a sink. And in here we have, what's that? Cotton hat. Do I have a hat on yet? No, I'm going to go ahead and wear that cotton hat. There we go. That'll theoretically reduce my cold head a little bit. Theoretically. It doesn't look like it actually did. And that is marijuana. Might as well. I could probably trade it for something. You can use marijuana to increase your morale. That may come in useful at some point, or it could come in useful as a trading item. Some matches, definitely. A bike helmet. No, I won't take that. I'm surprised the bike helmet's got such a high volume, though. What do we got in here? Looks like a rabbit is in here. Anything else? No. Alright, so I'm going to head back to base and deal with the water situation. And I managed to avoid zombies. So all I ran into during this was a mine. And that was very unpleasant. Oh, saving. Okay. I know from now on to avoid mounds of dirt. That's all I got to say. Alright, so now that I'm back home, what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the episode here. There's a rabbit in my building, or a squirrel. Anyways, yeah, thanks guys for watching. I plan on doing a lot more of this, as I am really enjoying this game, from what little I've played of it. I hope you guys enjoy watching it as well, and as with my Dwarf Fortress, if you like it, pass it on to somebody else that you think may like it as well. Take care, guys, enjoy, and we'll see you again soon.